doing the 11 out of 11 now.
Yeah.
He is our hope. So I'm starting to root a bit for him as well. He's a cool guy. I like him.
And in the meantime, it's an opening that's very rare at the top of world chess. It's kind of a hybrid between the Trompowsky here and the Jobava London system. There is a name for it, which escapes me right now. But Hikaru bringing his bishop out. He's going for the same strategy. Okay, he didn't take the knight while he could, but it's what he showed earlier against Alexander Bortnik. Just very slow, very calm, very positional. He's going to try and bore Hans Niemann to death.
And is he managing? When we take a look at Niemann's expression, what do you read from that, Aslak?
That's a bored man. that's his poison. Wow, they really figured out how to beat Niemann. He's just afraid of being bored.
And Magnus did the same thing last week, yeah?
Exactly. If you take the tactics out, Hans Niemann at least will not be able to checkmate you. He did just checkmate Vincent Keimer, Hans Niemann, in the previous round. So I think Hikaru knows. As long as he keeps his king safe, trades off some pieces, makes it very slow strategic, then he might be the favorite against Hans. Hans is going to try and spice things up and get the action, get the energy going, even if he doesn't look super thrilled right now.
And he needs this win because if he wants to catch up to Hikaru, Hikaru leads by half a point. This could be Niemann's chance to lead Title Tuesday. And he has won it before, one time earlier this split, but he still needs some points in the Champions Chess Tour standings. So this would be an important win for Niemann today. Yeah. And Hikaru, as you said earlier, David, he's probably already qualified through the Speed Chess Championship. So he doesn't have the same amount of pressure to do well in Title Tuesday.
Exactly. And sometimes it's nice not having that pressure. You can relax and just feel in that flow. Hikaru may be feeling the pressure of getting back over 3,400. We see his rating. It's dipped somehow below 3,400, despite being on 100% in this tournament so far. Now this looks like the most level position I've ever seen. Totally symmetrical pawn structure. Hikaru really is going down the snore, bore tactics. He's trying to get the queens off as well. And blunder from Hans Niemann. We do see rook takes knight now is available due to a pin. The black pieces are all lined up for the white bishop, the white rook. Wow.
I thought that Hikaru had this face for a long time, but it's just that his camera's frozen.
Oh, yeah.
But it's very suitable that he is frozen in this moment. We can see that he was realizing there's something weird going on here, and he does find the good move, and now he's suddenly winning.
He's suddenly winning. He has a huge advantage of bishop and knight for just one black rook. Still some hard work to be done. The rook is almost worth as much as those pieces, but now this white knight retreating has caught the black rook behind enemy lines. It's trapped. It's in no man's land. The other white knight might just come and win it in the near future. Maybe it will come forward and just win this piece. Hikaru, he has two pieces for a rook. That's a 1 point advantage, but it could become so much more starting with this move.
What a masterclass in really figuring out your opponent and being like, I need to bore him to death so he'll make some quick moves, and bam! Then Hikaru turns on his tactics and is now in a winning endgame.
Yeah, that rook is so trapped. Look at the white knights. They've created the perfect cage. And eventually black's rook will have to give itself up for the bishop or the knight. And okay, he finds a way to get it out maybe, Hans Niemann. If the white king now moves towards the rook will give itself up for this bishop, and then the knight in the center will drop. And Hikaru will not be satisfied with those exchanges. So maybe the white knight will move, but still looking very, very good for Hikaru. The knights are jumping. And yeah, it feels like the top players have sussed out Hans slightly. He's had a tough year. Didn't make it to the Esports World Cup final stages. Didn't make it very far in the World Cup at all. Lost in the second round. And it's been tough. Everyone's trying to bore Hans in these slow positions, and it's working. I mean,
poor guy.
Poor guy, exactly. He's not allowed to show the fire he's capable of. Must be so frustrating. And now the white king has come to evict the rook. He does escape. Now Hikaru will try and stop the rook checking. Retreats his knight, but okay, letting slip of the advantage. Hikaru, 11 out of 11, just after Magnus does it. That would be insane.
And while beating Magnus and potentially also Hans, that's going to be cinema, according to one of our viewers. And I have to agree. I mean, what a way to come back to Title Tuesday after last week's disappointment for Hikaru. And then to be able to turn it around. Yeah, it could be very exciting to see if he wins this one as well. Then he's going to really start thinking about this possibility, 11 out of 11.
Exactly. And yeah, big goals for Hikaru. He wants to be world champion, of course. That's for next year. But short-term goal, 11 out of 11. That's how rivalries work, I feel. When I was growing up, like I would hit a milestone, I would become an international master. My biggest rival, like 1 week later, he would become an international master. Then I'd make grandmaster. 1 week later, he'd become grandmaster.
Who is this rival? Can I hear?
No comment.
Oh.
Gawain
Yeah,
Jones,
Okay,
English grandmaster. But yeah, I think it's the same between Magnus and Hikaru, especially in events like Title Tuesday. They spur each other on.
You got 11 out of 11. Now I want to manage that.
Exactly.
You just beat Hans, or I want to beat Hans. Magnus winning in the same way last week, where he also played like a very long and solid game and then won towards the end. But here, Hikaru, 2 minutes left approximately on both of their clocks, seems to have complete control of this game.
He does, but he did shake his head a little bit. And now trying to trade off. It feels like he hasn't found the best win. He's trying to do it the slow and steady way. Sometimes you lose a bit of momentum, though, and confidence if you can't get the job done when you know you're winning for so long.
So he has lost rating during this tournament, right?
Hikaru, no, I think he's gained, but he lost rating since earlier today.
Oh, okay.
He created a new record on chess.com recently.
Yeah, I heard that. What was it? 3,400 and something.
And a lot, yeah. So, yeah, the record's not standing for now. He's let the black rook in, shaking his head, but he's still in control. The white knight will drop back now to defend its pawn. That's a very key move for Hikaru Nakamura. And then his bishop will drop back to try and kick the rook out.
But he's shaking his head a lot now. Does he feel like he's lost control?
Yeah, he must do. He's trying to calculate what happens if the knight drops back and then the pawn comes across, steps forward to hit the bishop right now. The bishop and knight kind of, they're hanging together, defending each other, but it's a bit shaky.
Yeah, and we can tell by Hikaru's body language that he is a little bit upset with himself. He understands that he was winning more clearly earlier in the game, and now he's kind of struggling to just put his pieces in defensive positions and try to not lose anything.
Full retreat mode. He's turned on reverse gear here. The white bishop on a horrible square. But that is a bit of a slip up from Hans Niemann, apparently. To my eyes, it's getting better for black. It's better than it's ever been. But the eval bar says it's totally winning now for white. Probably because the white bishop is going to get out. There we go. And it's going to come back and sit on a nice outpost in the center where it's going to start attacking the weak black pawns. You want to attack the base of the pawn chain. This is, again, a slow grind, but this is the way they play against Hans Niemann nowadays. Slow and steady. Get that endgame going. And now the two pieces team up. That's why two pieces are better than one. Two attackers, only one defender of that pawn.
And they're both now soon down to less than a minute, so anything can happen. But it looks like Hikaru is going to win a pawn, and that should be enough. Then he has something to kind of play for. He's going to win a second pawn, and then he's going to have two passed pawns that are connected on the side of the board. It doesn't get better than this.
Yeah, Hans leans back. He knows he's toast. And 55 seconds, more than enough. He resigns.
8 out of 8.
Hikaru. Wow, he's on fire.
Hikaru is on fire, beating both Magnus and Hans 2 games in a row. Who is the next opponent for him? Is anybody even close to catching up? Is Hikaru leading by an entire point? That'll be exciting to see when we get the standings. Let's hear what Hikaru says.
Okay, another win. There we go.
Quick conclusion there.
Factually true.
Okay, let's go. So it doesn't seem that he is too aware of the fact that he is leading the tournament, that he does have the 8 out of 8 points. Seems like now he's probably going through the game, looking at different moments where he could have done something better. Even when you're leading, it's normal to go through these games. And now after round 8,